So, in part two of Descartes' Discourse on Method, he pretty much says that he's going to start fresh, he's going to throw out everything that he knows, and just basically relearn everything, but finding the truth in everything. And so he gives us this method on page 11, and there are 4 rules to the method on which he's going to relearn everything and find the truth in everything. So the first part of the method is to never accept anything as true that I did not plainly know to be such. So an example of this would be like he wouldn't believe a person held this trait or personality unless he experienced it for himself. The next part of the method is to divide each of the difficulties he would examine into as many parts as possible and as was required in order to resolve them. So this would be like doing geometry proofs, like every step of an algebra equation you wrote down why you did it and how you did it. And then the third is to conduct thoughts in an orderly fashion, starting with the simplest and easy to know and ending with the hardest and most difficult. So again, you could use an example of this in math. If you have a word problem, you would, identify all the variables, set up your equation, and then moving to the hardest and most difficult would actually be to solve the equation and find the answer. And then the fourth would be to review and enumerate. So this was just going back through the past 3 steps and making sure you did everything right, making sure you included all the information and stuff like that. And then the question for this video response was to name something that this method could not work for. And I thought the method can't work for love and romantic relationships. So if you have a question like, am I in love with this person? How am I going to find love? Where am I going to find love? This method would not work for that. There are too many unknown and uncontrollable variables to people and all of their actions and their personality traits and all of the people around you and that other person. You have no idea what they're going to do. You have no control over what they're going to say, how they're going to act. So that can't be put into this method. And then like I said, there's no control of what can or will happen. You can control anything in a science experiment, you can set it up and do the procedure, but you can't control feelings or emotions of yourself or even especially another person. So it's all about control, and for this method you have to have control. You have to know what you're asking, you have to know all of the parts that are going to play into it, and for a romantic relationship you just can't do that.